Well, it's their job to police the police in Ontario. The Special Investigations Unit probes all deaths, serious injuries, and sexual assault allegations where officers are involved. And for nearly 7 months, it's been reviewing the death of Abdirahman Abdi, the Somali-Canadian man who died after an altercation with Ottawa police this past summer. That investigation has put the SIU on many people's radar in this city, and it's raised concerns about what some say is a lack of accountability on the part of the agency. My next guest has been working for months to set up a public meeting with members of the SIU to address some of those concerns. That forum takes place tonight at Ottawa City Hall. Ketcia Peters is the community co-chair of the Community and Police Action Committee, also known as COMPAC. Hello.
Hi.
What prompted you to invite members of the SIU to meet with the public in Ottawa tonight?
Well, as you said, after the death of Abdirahman, many community members had questions around what occurs when a police officer is charged for a wrong conduct. So, and trying to answer those questions, I thought to myself, maybe it would be the best way is to get the answer from the organization themselves directly. So I attended and participated in many community consultations and heard time and time again that the community were inquiring about the same issues. They had the same questions. So I decided to contact SIU myself directly. And I was really surprised to realize that they didn't have a proper, clear process in place for those type of inquiries. And it took a long time before I actually have someone confirm that they could come to Ottawa and just answer basic questions in terms of what they do, what's their mandate.
Yeah, because this process started way back in the fall, right? And it's taken this long to make this meeting happen.
Well, yes, but that process took place before. I really wanted to have the information about what they do, but when Abdirahman's death occurred, then I wanted them to come to Ottawa. So it's been, over almost 7 months now.
You talked about the questions that some community members had that they couldn't find answers to. What specifically were some of those questions about the police and the role of the SIU?
Well, to the community members who saw the video of the incident, they feel that it's pretty clear what could have taken place. There was witnesses who testified that they saw police officers behaving a certain way during the incident. So to them, those type of proof should be a direct response in terms of coming up to a resolution, and this has not taken place yet. We have no information in terms of if the police officer is going to be charged for what took place, and if they are, what can we know that information as soon as possible? Why is it taking so long for us to even know?
So what can people expect if they go to this forum tonight? Will they have the chance to ask questions directly to members of the SIU?
Absolutely. So tonight, the 2 members of the SIU will be in attendance, and they will provide a presentation about their mandate. So doing this type of engagement is part of their mandate. It's part of their mission. Doing community outreach is part of their mission. So what they're doing tonight is to give an opportunity for more corporate learning, and also improvement. They want to hear from the community about how they could improve, and also give examples on the type of cases that took place in the past and the decisions that were made from those cases and why those decisions were made.
I'm guessing there are people who are going to show up at this forum tonight and they're going to want specific answers about the case we've been talking about, the case of Abdirahman Abdi. Will the SIU provide an update on that case tonight?
No, absolutely not. They will not talk about any ongoing cases currently, but they will give case samples about the incident that took place in the past. Tonight is really about giving a new opportunity for the SIU to change their perception in the community's eye. They have lost the confidence of the community, and we're trying to reach out to them to tell them, listen, originally you have to remember why SIU was created. SIU was created because the Black community in Toronto had poured an outcry for an oversight in police conduct, and that's what the SIU was creating. So when they're being secretive and they're not being transparent about their work, then they're forgetting exactly the reason why they're in existence.
As a member of the community and as a member of COMPAC, what questions are you looking to have answered tonight?
So I'm really, happy that I'll get to understand better what they do and how they do it. But from there, I want to understand what's their community engagement strategy, and have they looked into improving that strategy, and why has it taken so long for them to even implement, that aspect of their mission and their mandate, because it's part of their mandate. So we shouldn't have to have it shouldn't be so difficult for the community to be able to have access to them, to have their questions answered, and it shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't be so secretive.
Their investigation into Abdirahman Abdi's death, as you know, has taken 7 months already. Do you think that's a reasonable amount of time?
I'm not an expert in what it takes to conduct an investigation, but it doesn't seem to me that the coroner's office would take such a long time to give results on what the results are of someone's death. So to me, if the coroner's office is able to provide you with some answers on what took place, then the SIU should be able to, in a reasonable amount of time, do the same.
Do you expect to come away from the forum tonight with a better understanding of whether that's a reasonable amount of time, whether that's a fair question to even ask?
Oh, it is, I think, to me, a fair question to ask, and I think it's an answer that should be answered. And from my understanding of the overview of the presentation tonight, they will explain to us the process of the investigation. So that in that way, that should answer the question that we have: why does it take so long, or if it takes so long, if it's an isolated incident. But I don't believe it's an isolated incident. It seems that it's a continuing issue. Every time there's a investigation and that affects a police officer's conduct, usually the result takes a long time to come out.
Now, we know that in its 26-year history, the SIU has only released one report on an investigation into officer conduct. Only one report has been made public. Many people are calling for the report into Mr. Abdi's death to be made public once it's finally finished. What do you want to see done with that report?
To be publicized, so that it's available to everyone. And in fact, I think one of the demands of the community is to have all the reports publicized, open to the public. So like I said, again, the call from the community is for the SIU to be more transparent and more accountable to the people.
Here's another statistic. Between 2011 and 2015, the SIU conducted 72 investigations into the conduct of Ottawa police officers. Only 4 of those investigations resulted in criminal charges being laid. That's less than 5%. What do you make of that number?
Again, it's a great concern from the community's perspective. The SIU was created in order to be the watchdog of the police, so that the community have faith, and in the system. So if 95% of the results are in favor of the police, so that's one of the criticism that comes from the community, is that the SIU seems to be biased in terms of being pro-police. So if that's the perception, then the community don't feel like they actually have someone who looks out for their best interests, and that's a great concern.
Yeah, you just mentioned faith. How far do you think tonight's question and answer session can go towards rebuilding, or I suppose rebuilding that faith, that trust that the public has in the SIU?
To me, tonight is a great step forward for the SIU to come to Ottawa and to want to face the scrutiny that they're probably going to be under tonight. The community has a lot of questions, and especially the community of Ottawa. We've gone through a lot lately. The Somali community is very hurt, and they still haven't gotten any closure. So tonight should be very interesting, but also it would be a way to help us move forward in a more positive way, I believe. So it's a great step forward. I don't know if the expectations will be met in terms of the expectation of each member that are actually attending the meeting tonight, but at least we'll be able to demystify a lot of the questions that the community members has.
What are the expectations on you? What sort of responsibility are you feeling in your role on COMPAC as as a liaison, I suppose, between the community and the police.
Yeah, I think my responsibility is to be the voice of the community at the table. So because I've heard from the community time and time again that it was important for them to hear from SIU, to know exactly how they conduct their investigations, the fact that I reached out and I used my influence, as a co-chair of Compact, I think is me fulfilling my role as a co-chair. So my expectation is to be able to give that opportunity to the community, the opportunity to SIU as well to redeem themselves in a way. For them being here tonight shows that they're willing to do things differently.
All right, Ketcia Peters, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Ketcia Peters is community co-chair of the Community and Police Action Committee. The public meeting with the Special Investigations Unit takes place tonight at 6:30 at Ottawa City Hall, and we will tweet out the details.